You're getting bigger. Look how round your stomach is looking.
Kola, I've told you to stop body shaming me.
Why am I lying? Look how round your stomach is now.
Stop it, I don't like it.
Get your body together, girl!
Show what you did.
Hey, thank you.
Bad now. Why are you buying bad?
Why are you embarrassing me in front of Charity now?
Get a surgery.
I don't want to do plastic surgery.
The storyline began with a young man named Collar Wole Phillips, CEO of KW Solutions, narrating and informing we the viewers that he preferred to refer to himself as the ladies' man. He further stated that he's married to a woman named Tinya Keck Phillips, the CEO of Olawo Steels. However, to him, she is unappealing, as he feels that she dresses in an awkward way.
But, she has very poor fashion sense.
He believed Tinya Keck, who is his wife, can't be compared to the many women he hangs out with. Plus, he finds pleasure with other women. The scenes swiftly shift, and just as expected, we see Collar Wole with one of his many girls. As they both got down on each other and taking things a little too far with a romantic moment, he ends up accidentally choking a lady while at it, and quickly, she became unresponsive.
Baby.
Back to the company, Tinya Keck, her dad, and her elder brother named Dol Toon were discussing about their position in the business.
She's CEO. In what day you are CEO.
But Chief, I want to stand on my own.
When Tinya Keck is informed by her assistant that she got an important call and had to leave immediately, something seems to be wrong. The scene shifted, and it seems Collar Wole already took the young lady from earlier to the hospital. Collar Wole seriously discussed with his friend, who is also his family doctor, about the young lady from earlier who he nearly strangled to death. Luckily for him, he is informed that she is still alive, as she had passed out due to lack of air. He further warned him not to try such act, but Collar Wole insisted that he had grown fond of his crazy fantasy of choking women while sleeping with them, as it gives him pleasure. However, this was simply just an incident, and he didn't mean to hurt her. Afterwards, he went back home to his wife, who informed him of the situation with his son causing trouble at school by bullying and calling a classmate fat. They both corrected their son's behavior.
The right to insult her.
But Daddy, I don't have anything to say.
I'm repeating it.
She has a very rough stomach.
Really?
Only for Collar Wole to turn around and also body shame his wife in front of their son by calling her fat.
Look how round your stomach is now.
Stop it, I don't like it.
Get your body together, girl!
At Tinya Keck home, Dol Toon continued to argue with his dad about his position at the company, due to the fact his dad placed all the company's shares and rights to his more educated daughter Tinya Keck, which obviously, Dol Toon is the opposite. He came out with a pass in university and doesn't seem to know anything about the company business. Yet he claims he is ready to run the company. Back in their matrimonial room, Tinya Keck tries to seduce her husband in the most ridiculous way with her funny-looking outfit. Collar was not having it, as there was nothing attractive about her funny display.
What's this now? What's this rubbish?
Oh, Kola, you keep pushing me away. Do I have thorns on my hand?
I am tired.
The next day, Tinya Keck kept trying to impress her husband by wearing a butt pad. However, this repelled him the more.
Bad now. Why are you buying bad?
Collar told her to get a surgery to fix her body, and she felt more embarrassed, as she doesn't want to do surgery.
You want to be curvy? Take this out of your stomach and put it here.
Once Tinya Keck get to her workplace, Tinya Keck complained to her friend about her husband's incessant request and his emotional abuse. Sarah advised her to focus on taking care of herself and to divorce him immediately, as he saw her the way she was before he married her. But Tinya Keck seems to be okay with managing her marriage the way it is, plus her father won't be happy with her if she get a divorce. She also informed her friend that her husband haven't even touched her for almost 8 months now. In the afternoon, Tinya Keck's phone rang, and it was Collar Wole. He was ranting about how tiring it is at work and how he needs over 600 million naira for an investment. He went on with his emotional blackmail just so she can give him the money, and of course she succumbed. Back at home, Tinya Keck made a feast for him thinking she got her husband back, only to call him and he said he is at a meeting since she wasn't able to get the money he requested for her. The supposed meeting is with another one of his girls. At this moment, Tinya Keck broke down in tears. The scene cut to a scene where Ndidi is seen crying to her boyfriend over the phone. She explains her mother's chemotherapy ordeal to him, how the hospital wants more money to continue the treatment. He assures her he will find a way to help. Afterwards, he ended the call and asked his sister for help, who is seemingly tired of their case. Now in Tinya Keck's office, one of the staffs, named Rebecca, was making a presentation to the team. A romantic message popped up on the projector while she was making the presentation, but her excellent presentation made Tinya Keck overlook it. After the presentation, Rebecca dropped her phone, and it rang only for Tinya Keck to see husband's picture as the wallpaper. Apparently, she is sleeping with her husband. This left Tinyakek very shocked and broken, and of course Rebecca resigned immediately. Back at Didi's house, her boyfriend Anthony came to see the supposed sick mother and her siblings. They were all in tears. They informed him that the cancer in her breast is rapidly spreading all over her body, and to operate on her, they would be needing at least 2 million naira. Anthony made a promise to raise the money for them somehow.
For mama's surgery, this guy is pregnant.
For 2 million.
Your mother cannot die.
Your mother will not die. Mommy will not die. Anthony will find the money.
Kalarwole's act has left Tinyakek shattered. Just then she received a call from Sarah, and there, she explained to her about her current situation. So Sarah promised to come see her immediately. Meanwhile, just as Tinyakek was crying her eyes out, Kalarwole is very much busy apologizing to his side chick about the embarrassment she faced back at the office when his wife found out. Sarah took Tinyakek to Anthony's bar so she could forget her worries with her husband. And it seems they all know each other. Although the girls are hurt to support Anthony's business. Unfortunately, after the party, Tinyakek came back home drunk. At that moment, Tinyakek confronted her husband. Even in her drunken state, he lied to her face that he doesn't know Rebecca. He continued to deny. As soon as she told him she was planning to send him the 600 million he asked before he went ahead to cheat on her, Kalarwole switched and became this sweet and loving husband just so he can get the money from her. They made out, and the next morning, he was gushing all over her as she woke. He managed to win her over and still get the money. Sarah and Tinyakek continued their gym exercises. Just then, Anthony pitched his business proposal to her since he is looking for investors who are willing to invest, and Tinyakek seems to be interested. Afterward, she left to go meet her son. On the other hand, Anthony went to see his sister at her shop in the market. He explained how work has been stressful and how the bosses are threatening to fire him if he doesn't double profit in a month. She sent him 1 million naira just so he can fix his own business, and naive Anthony sent the money to Didi for her mom's supposed surgery.
I'm gonna send you 1 million naira.
1 million naira. Anthony.
Anthony called her again to say he gave her brother a funny 500k extra. Her brother confessed that he has used the money for betting. Didi lost it and pounced on him. A glimmer of hope shone on Anthony as Tinyakek told him that she would love to be part of his business after going through the proposal. He was so emotional and didn't even realize when he hugged her tightly. Anthony came visiting his girlfriend, only to find Afani at home eating, and so he sat with him to wait. Just then, the supposed sick mother came out looking for Afani. Unbeknownst to her, Anthony was around. Afani, who wanted revenge against what his sister had done to him earlier, went on to expose the family gimmicks on how they had been scamming him by using the mom's fake cancer. Anthony was devastated after hearing all this.
Fake breast cancer to collect money from you. Her chest in her face. All those things is makeup. Anthony, you're not the only boyfriend that she has.
Afani also informed him that he is not the only boyfriend Didi is dating. At that moment, Anthony was seriously heartbroken. Tinyakek was called to the police station over missing funds of 500 million in the company. Tinyakek told them she approved the funds. The commissioner called her dad and told him the latest update. Tinyakek told her dad she will come over to explain to him and clarify things, and so the case was closed. Later that day, her dad removed her as the CEO of the company because of the huge money she took from the company without any tangible excuse.
Hereby remove you from CEO Olowostin.
Back at Didi's house, some thugs attacked the family. They beat them and asked them to return the money they took from Anthony. They later called Anthony to insult and threaten him. We get to find out that it was Anthony's sister who sent the girls to go beat Didi and her family. Anthony reports to her sister that Didi had been threatening her after the attack. At a launch, Kalarwole showcased his new brand and gave a speech and vote of thanks to everyone that contributed to the success of the brand without acknowledging his wife. Tinyakek was pained. She left crying. Anthony called her to update her on her investment, the lounge. He noticed she was crying, and he quickly rushed to her. Anthony consoled her as she kept crying. Reality dawned on her. She is alone in her marriage. Anthony also shares his own bad relationship story, and they both consoled each other, which obviously ended in a kiss as the emotion became tense. The next morning, Tinyakek confronted her husband about how he embarrassed her at the event launch, and he snapped at her again and left. She went to the lounge to see how things are going. She also tried so hard to avoid discussing the kiss they shared the last time. It was quite obvious. And yet again they kissed. Sarah caught them in the act, and she was so happy about what she saw since she knows Kalawol doesn't deserve Tinyakek. Tinyakek was surprised at her friend's reaction. She was expecting her to be disappointed, but it was the other way around. Although Tinyakek didn't feel good about doing such as she is married. The next day, Tinyakek went to see Anthony at his new apartment. He spoke to her in a way her husband never did. He complimented her beauty and everything about her and made her feel good. Afterwards, she went for a total makeover. Her husband saw her on her way out and was speechless at her new look. She came back late, only to see her husband waiting up for her. He was upset at how she had been staying out late and sounded like a nagging wife. Tinyakek was too happy to be bothered by her husband's complaints. Tinyakek continues to beg her father about the huge withdrawal she made, and he's still not happy with her, even though she had paid 100 million out of the 500.
100 million naira.
Meanwhile, Tinyakek and Anthony continue to bond well as they spend more time together. But unfortunately, she was caught by her driver. Back at home, she was feeling a bit sick, and then she did a pregnancy test and it was positive. She told Sarah, who was so happy, the news. She thought Anthony was the father, but unfortunately Tinyakek told her it is her husband's. Later on, Kalarwole went to ask Tinyakek's driver how things have been with his wife. Apparently he asked the driver to keep an eye on her. The driver went on, but fortunately for Tinyakek, the driver didn't tell Kalarwole what he wanted to hear. Although he suspects she is cheating on him. Tinyakek is seen in a restaurant waiting for Sarah and the client, who happened to be Anthony. She had been avoiding him since after she found out about the pregnancy. She told him about the pregnancy and that he is also not the father of the child. It broke Anthony, but deep down he still feels like the child is his and he wants it. Anthony told his siblings about Tinyakek's pregnancy, and she is heartbroken as she herself also wants a baby, but since she is married, Anthony is advised to leave her alone. Back at their home, the couple were celebrating their business success, and then Tinyakek told her husband about the pregnancy.
I'm pregnant.
They've been trying for a child for over 10 years, and it already felt impossible, so this was a surprise to Kalarwole, and he didn't seem to believe the story. Something is up. Immediately, he went to his doctor friend to confirm if Tinyakek is actually pregnant, and it was confirmed. In a plot twist, we get to find out that Kalarwole has a medical condition that can't allow him father a child, and so he realized that his wife cheated on him because the baby is definitely not his. He was furiously upset by this fact.
Tell me to be calm.
At the lounge, Dee Dee came looking for Anthony, while also making a huge scandal. She has been trailing him and has found out about his affair with Tinyakek. She wants 10 million naira to stay quiet. Unfortunately for her, she came at the wrong time. Anthony's sister was not having it. She gave her a stern warning and threatened to deal with her if she tries nonsense.
See that threat where you just talk? They're not going to even see your corpse.
If you do anyhow, you could see anyhow.
Unfortunately, Kalarwole seems to find out about Anthony, so he plot ways with his doctor friend to abort his wife's pregnancy without her consent. The driver overheard them talking and told Sarah immediately, who made Tinyakek come over to her house quickly. She told her what the driver found out, but Tinyakek didn't believe her. She felt Sarah was trying to bring her out of her marriage.
Madam, please do your loan.
She stood up upset to leave, only for Sarah to see that she was spotting. She called out to her and took her to the hospital. Luckily, the baby was safe. When the doctor came, Tinyakek told the doctor about her previous diagnosis, which was said to be tubal occlusion. The doctor told her it's impossible because the scan is clear and there was no way she would have given birth the first time if she had tubal occlusion. Apparently, it was all Kalarwole's plan to put the blame on her when he was actually the one with a medical issue. Tinyakek told Sarah everything about how they adopted her first son and how it was all Kalarwole's plan to keep it as a family secret. On the road, there was a stop and search, and the police came to search Anthony's car. They saw a dead body in the booth of the car and arrested him immediately. Tinyakek came back home to an almost empty home to pick some things. Back at the police station, Ngozi narrates how Dee Dee and her were blackmailing Kalarwole for $50,000, else they will release some comprising pictures of him. And when Dee Dee went to get the money at the said location, she never returned. Afterwards, the police found her dead in Anthony's car. Quite a confusing case for the police, but Ngozi was very sure Kalarwole killed her sister. The police also arrested the hitman that did the job for Kalarwole. He confessed and told them everything, and the police went ahead to arrest Kalarwole's friend, while also preparing to get Kalar too. Meanwhile, Tinyakek was still at the house, going through Kalarwole's valuables. She saw the fake test result and also the test result of his medical condition. Kalarwole came in, he forgot his passport and saw his wife going through his things. She confronted him about everything. Kalarwole tore the evidence and attacked her, and furiously hit her by the stomach. Right in time, Tinyakek's brother came in and fought Kalarwole. She was already bleeding. Kalarwole fought them and took the evidence. So just as he was leaving, the police came and took him away. Sarah ran inside the house to get Tinyakek. Now at the hospital, Tinyakek gained consciousness, only to meet her mother and her brother. She asked about her child, and fortunately, the child was unharmed. Anthony also arrived with Sarah, and in an emotional way, The two embraced themselves, and the movie then came to an end. Kindly subscribe for more movie recap like this. Thanks for watching and goodbye.